I'm Natalie, and these are my point shoe hacks. So I have a new pair of sewn shoes here. When I sew them, I like to generally reuse my ribbon and elastic because it's just sort of more sustainable that way. I use just one elastic here, and for my ribbons, I sew them a little bit farther up, but not too far front, and just enough that they can pull up your arch nicely. I also like to use stretchy ribbon because it is good for your Achilles. I like to do vertical loops like that because I've learned that it's sort of like the strongest when I break them in. I like to start by stepping on the box here. So I just step down with my heel, not too much, and then I flip them over and I step on the back of it. So I like to bend them backwards a little bit because they're pretty straight, as you can see right now, and they're really hard. So you got to use a little bit of force and just sort of go like that. That was a big crack. And sometimes I'll go a little bit the other way because that's the way that the shoe will actually end up bending on your foot. When they're brand new like this, I don't like to use a ton of jet glue because they already feel really hard on your feet, and they'll slowly get softer anyway, and that's when I like to apply more and more jet glue. So I like to put about 6 or 7 drops right in the tip here, sort of the platform of your shoe, so that you don't feel your toes touching the ground. I also like to sort of prop them up on like a wall or, you know, a chair or something, just so that the glue stays where it's supposed to stay while they're drying. I like to just put a little bit on the outside where your arch is the highest and where the shank will bend the most. I actually don't like to wear a lot of padding. If I feel like I have got too much stuff on my feet, then I like to sort of just be able to feel like I can move and articulate my toes really well. I do wear just plain like toe pads just like this. And occasionally if I have something wrong, like a corn or a blister, I like to use these corn pads because they prevent friction. I don't really have a system to see which is right or left until I put them on. Of course, they're handmade and we don't know which is supposed to be right or left, but sometimes it feels a little bit better one way or the other. And this feels pretty good. Next, we have to tie the elastics. And actually, something I've started doing is tying them up on releve because that is the way that your foot is like the straightest in the shoe and it won't twist, which sometimes it does on the floor. So I just sort of like make sure that they're positioned on correctly, and then I'll tighten it. And I usually like to tighten it a lot. My favorite maker to wear is Fish. They have a pretty tapered, we call it tapered, box, which sort of means that it like comes to more of a tip rather than like a square shape. Growing up at SAB, I always have had the opportunity to get shoes through the school. So this program is really important to us students, whether we're new or we've been there forever. It helps every girl who dances on point. By giving to the SAB Toe Shoe Fund, you can help me and my classmates stay on our toes.